Good morning and welcome to Kids Church. My name's Heather and I really hope that you enjoy this morning and that you've had a really great week. Over the next few weeks we're going to be looking at God's power in lots of different areas, and this morning we're going to be focusing in on God's power to provide. And specifically we're going to be reading from 1 Kings and looking at the life of Elijah and how God provided for him in his time of need. And he did this through one woman and with a little bit of oil and a little bit of flour. So let's hear about that story now.
Elijah the prophet spoke to Ahab, the evil king of Israel, and gave him a message. There will be no dew or rain for the next few years unless I command it. This will certainly happen.
Oh no!
Then God told Elijah to go to a place near a stream. God said the ravens would provide food for Elijah to eat, so Elijah obeyed God. The ravens brought him bread and meat, and he drank water from the stream. After a while, the stream dried up because there was no rain in the land. Then God told Elijah to go to a small village. God said a widow in the town would provide for Elijah, so Elijah obeyed God. When Elijah got to the gate of the city, he saw a widow gathering wood. He called to her, "Please bring me a little water so I can drink." As she went to get it, he added, "Please bring me a piece of bread too." But the women told Elijah, "I don't have bread. I only have a little bit of flour and oil." The woman and her son were planning to eat one more meal before they died from hunger. "Don't be afraid," Elijah said. "Go and prepare the meal, but first bring me a small loaf of bread. Then make some for yourself and your son. God says you will not run out of flour or oil until rain comes again." So the woman prepared the meal. She, Elijah, and everyone in her household had enough to eat, and she did not run out of flour or oil, just like the Lord had said. Sometime later, the woman's son got sick, and he stopped breathing. Elijah took the boy upstairs and laid him on the bed. He cried out to God, stretched himself out over the boy 3 times, and cried out to God again. "Lord my God, please let this boy live again," Elijah prayed. The Lord listened to Elijah, and the boy's life came into him again. He was alive. Elijah led the boy to his mother. She said to Elijah, "Now I know you are a man of God, and the Lord really does speak through you." God miraculously provided through Elijah to give food to the widow and life to the widow's son. Many years later, God miraculously provided through his own son, Jesus. Jesus is greater than Elijah. In Jesus, God provides salvation and life to everyone who trusts in him.
So today we're going to be making moon sand. All you're going to need is a bowl to mix it all in, a chopping board or some sort of sheet underneath where you're working because it can get a bit messy, some plain flour and some oil, just like the story. And the reason why we use baby oil is just because it's a bit nicer on the hands, nice and soft, but also it smells quite nice and it's not too harsh on especially young children's skin. If you don't have plain flour, then self-raising flour or any other flour is fine. And if you don't have baby oil, then olive oil and other oils is fine. So you're going to need 2 cups of flour, and then you're going to need 1/4 cup of baby oil, which is already measured out. This is for 1 or 2 children, or if you have 3 or more children in your house, then you'll probably want 8 cups of flour to 1 cup of baby oil, which is quite a lot. So yeah, I've just poured in the flour and I'm just going to pour in the baby oil now, and then all you do is mix it all together with your hands So whatever you want to kind of make, you can do with this. So it crumbles quite easily, but you can really kind of condense it into something quite easily as well. It can be a sandcastle, it can be a person, it can be maybe something that you are praying for God to provide, or maybe it's some letters, maybe a word. There you go, you've made moon sand. Sand. There you are.
So I'd like to tell you a very quick story about how God has provided for me. There's been so many different times in my life where God has looked after me and cared for me in loads of different ways. But this time it really sticks out to me because it's never happened in the same way since. But about 6 years ago, so a long time ago, I first started working with Youth for Christ, and it didn't pay a lot of money, like not much at all. Just enough for me to be able to buy my food each week. And I remember this one time I'd literally run out of money and I'd run out of food. And I woke up one morning and I made myself a little bowl of porridge, and that was everything gone from my cupboards. So I was really worried. I was like, how am I going to eat? I'm not going to get paid any money for the next week in a little bit. Where's my food going to come from? What am I going to do? And so I went into work worried, and I remember praying as I went into work and saying, Lord, please, I really need you to come through for me here. Well, the day went on and I did some work, and lunchtime came around. I had no lunch, and someone bought me a nice tasty sandwich. But then in the afternoon, I got a phone call from a friend, someone who I'd not spoken to for a long time. And he said, Johnny, I'd really like to give you some money each week. Just to help you out. And I never even said anything to this guy. I said, thank you so much. You don't know how much that means to me right now. And after work, I was so thankful, so grateful. I went into the supermarket and I was able to buy all of my food. Now, as I was walking around the supermarket, I bumped into another friend, someone who I hadn't seen for a very long time again. And we got talking, and I said, you know, what I'm doing, what I'm up to, and he told me about where he was at and what he was doing. And we carried on filling up our shopping baskets as we were talking. We put all our stuff on the conveyor belt, and just as I was about to pay, he took his card and put it in the machine and paid for my shopping before I could say anything. I said, whoa, what are you doing? He said, I just really want to do this for you today. So I took my shopping home and I said, thank you so much for doing that for me. And I put my food in the cupboards and I sat down in my chair, tired after a long day, and I said, Lord, thank you so much. At the start of the day, I had no food and no money. And at the end of the day, I had full cupboards and a little bit of money from a friend of mine. Isn't that amazing? Now, that's never happened to me since in the same way. But God used two of my friends to meet the needs I had. It's amazing how God can use people to help others. And I really believe that God would like to use you to meet the needs of your friends. Food didn't just magically grow in the cupboards and rain down from the sky for me. Money didn't just grow on a tree that I could pick off or appear in my pocket out of nowhere. But actually, people provided for my needs who were moved by God in some special way.
So to finish, I'm just going to read from Isaiah 58:11, which is a promise from God. It says, "The Lord will always lead you. He will satisfy your needs in dry lands and give strength to your bones. You will be like a garden that has much water, like a spring that never runs dry." So just remember this morning that God provides, and that's a promise for you, whether it's something that is visible that you can see, or whether it's something that you need, whether it's peace or this sense of love or comfort. God provides for you today. So all that he asks is that you come to him and ask him for that. Now, recently we've been singing a song to Alia. I actually learned it from Johnny, and we're going to share that with you now. So please excuse the voice and the drumming on the table, but just a little snapshot of the song about God providing, and it's surprisingly catchy. Thank you guys, have a lovely day. My God shall supply all my needs. My God shall supply all my needs. My God shall supply all my needs. 'Cause he says so in the Bible. He said so in the book that came from heaven. He says so Isaiah 58:11. My God shall supply all my needs. My God shall supply all my needs. My God shall supply all my needs, 'cause he says so in the Bible. Woo! Yeah!
You've given us a heart, given us a home, you've given us a heart, given us a home, you've given us a heart, given us a home with you, yeah.